On this episode of Pimp My Setup, I'm going to be talking about your setups you submitted for tips, tricks, feedback, and much more. So if you're interested in that, then sit back, relax, and interact because the show starts now.
It's time for the original setup show dedicated to providing you with tips, tricks, and feedback to pimp out your setup. Hosted by Matt Philly with new special guests every week. Coming at you live in 3, 2, 1.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Pimp My Setup, episode number 126, recorded live on August 4th, 2016. My name is Matt Philly. You can find me on Twitter at Matt Philly. And yes, I am solo, riding solo. That's not how the song goes. There's a song called Riding Solo. I know that. So the reason I'm doing this, I just explained to the live stream, is that I'm going to try to do 3 episodes a week eventually. And they're going to be solo because it makes my life a lot easier. So I want to be able to create more and really get this queue kind of like moving through because we're booked up until like 169, something like that, and I still have more setups to go through. So if we keep up with the current schedule, we're looking at 2017, and I don't like that. So because of that, I want to go ahead and kind of fix the problem, and this is the solution. So if you don't like it, deal with it. If you like it, then hey, how you doing? So anyways, Let's do this, all right? Let's get into what we got. We got a lot of crazy stuff going on. The first 100 on a setup ever comes out today. It's not this setup, though. This person's probably like, way to go. Shout it out over my freaking setup. So, setup of the day, first one is submitted by Manuel. He's 21 from Austria, and all he said was something crazy. I don't know if like he was like, yeah, this is crazy or whatever, but it is an awesome setup. I really enjoy it. Underneath, really happy with how that turned out because some people might say it looks like a mess, but when you look closely, it's really organized. Everything from the power strips and whatnot's mounted to the underside of the desk. He's even got the subwoofer cables neatly zip tied and things. And yes, it's an exposed cable, but the difference is it's actually managed, and that's a big deal. So it's okay to have the cables showing if it's properly managed. If he just had all those cables drooping down and he's like, that's it, this was a subwoofer cable, then I'd be like, no. But taking a look at this, I was pretty good with the scoring on it. Out of set, out of mind, wasn't like awful, but he didn't get a 10 on that. And they're like not even like the little accessories, but I just thought like the overall workspace, there's a little bit that could be moved around. Theme, I had a hard time with that because we can't really see too much going on. We see that stuff, but I felt like if anything, it might be a little bit randomly placed behind the monitors. Think about when he's sitting there, he can't actually see any of that. We didn't really get a full feel for how his room looked overall, and it's like he's got the green Razer mouse pad, the RGB keyboard, a red chair. I just didn't understand fully what was going on there, but usability, I gave him a 9. I feel like it's really easy to sit there and use that, and the microphone's overhead, and it just overall like really nice. He's got his webcam. I don't know if he streams or what it is that he does, but just really nice overall, and this desk is perfect for a triple monitor setup, and I really like that. I just wish I could have seen a little bit further back, but nonetheless, still really nice, and I like that. So not much else to say for him, so we're going to go on to the next setup here, and the next setup of the day is submitted by Sigurd, and he probably was like, guys, my setup is Sigurd. Okay, so good. Now, anyway, okay, sorry, I offended a 14-year-old boy from Norway. He likes filming, editing, skiing, and flipping. I don't know what the hell flipping is. I used to flip. No? Okay, so, yeah, really crazy changes to his setup. And he actually switched his room with his sister. He was like, listen, sister, get out, because this is mine now. And this is what he's working with. Now, I know some people are going to complain that it's like just weird, like a weird vibe from it. And I kind of get that weird vibe. But my initial thoughts were like, I don't think the usability is perfect. It looks like he's using a 4x3 display on the left, which was just weird to me. And I almost thought it would be useless, if anything. I didn't really like that, and I felt like the Asus wasn't really dead center in front of his keyboard. So, you know, it looks like he was trying to set a primary display, but he's not actually sitting primarily in front of it. So very odd in that regard, but I like the docking station. He's got double speakers for both setups, a very nice TV on the other side, which is really cool. He's got his PS4, he's got his headphones hung up. Nothing on the walls above. I would have loved to see some personality. That's where it kind of lacked here. But if you look underneath, he really just has a like little shelf for each side, which isn't the end of the world. It is like a Signum. A Signum isn't cable management. We get that. It's just a place to hang the cables. It's a floor in the air. And I really did like this, but I just wish the cables were actually managed. That's why I prefer the subwoofer cable in the last one to this, because you see they're just kind of like, if you would have zip tied, it would have been one straight cable. Nitpicking, of course, but rightfully so. And taking a look at this, I think really, yeah, theme, he got a 9 in accessories, really kind of killed him in theme, wire management, and by kill him I mean 7 out of 10. So it's not like I was like, yeah, this guy sucks. So he still did pretty good overall. But now let's go to the next setup. The next setup of the day is submitted by Thomas. And yeah, so taking a look at this, he's a light gamer from England. He prefers to play Xbox compared to computer gaming, hence the iMac, which is dual booted with Windows. However, he's seriously thinking about building himself a computer so he can play some more intense games. His cable management could use a little bit of work, and he said that mainly he has short cables and things like that. And yeah, so he is 20 years old, which just so happens to be the same age as me. And I think he was actually on, I could be completely wrong here, but his thing says episode 104. I think he was actually on episode 104. And I'm trying to remember what his setup looked like, but I don't know. But the first thing that happened is I looked under the desk and I literally jumped out of my chair. I shat a brick and I was like, what the hell? And then I realized that was fake. It wouldn't surprise me if one day we get a submission where somebody actually has a real freaking tiger under their desk. Cable management wise, definitely helps. You could hide some stuff with the tiger underneath. Nope, just kidding. Cable management's like all over the place. Wish it was fixed a little bit. It's okay that it's not drooping all the way down, but it looks like poo-poo. You know, from far away, it's not going to be a problem. If you look in the third photo, it's a panoramic, and wow, this guy, I mean, you can't say he doesn't have theme. I mean, we know what he loves. He's got Batman, Baymax, you know, I'm the One Who Knocks. He's got everything he could possibly need. The DeLorean, Star Wars, Toy Story, Iron Man, Cookie Monster, you know, I almost said Big Bird, but that's Angry Bird. Really just a lot going on here. He's got some Pokemon and yeah, really colorful, bright room, but the desktop itself, you know, you got your subwoofer on your desk. That's a no-no. Don't like that. You have the dildo speakers. Those are cool, but you know, Tom's shaking his head. It's like, no, too far. You got a snowball, so it all makes sense. The mouse pad is like a mouse pad for ants. So I don't know how do you move? You can't use both. It just doesn't. Oh my God, this birdhouse. You hear that, Tom? Yeah. I'm going to shoot the bird in a second. But okay, now it's just mocking me. Stop it! Oh my God, I don't know if you guys can even hear it. It's in a, oh my God. Okay, I got to just drown it out. No, leave it. It's a lot of cool stuff though, like little Pokeball, BB-8, Boba Fett, and everything like that. I just don't think that's the exact spot for it. And I think that kind of goes for your whole room. You need to learn to just kind of condense a little bit and sort of have a better method of displaying everything. But that's going to do it for that setup. Next setup of the day is a quickie submitted by Liam. Liam is 15. He said he spends most of his time at his setup playing Black Ops 3 and CSGO. He lives in New Zealand. He loves playing basketball and he loves the videos. Thank you, Liam. So Liam's setup is definitely simple. Now, I do like what he's going for. It's just hard because his walls and really his room for that matter is like blah, kind of gives off like a throw up orangish vibe. It's very odd. The walls are weird. The desk is weird. The door looks old, and that's really out of his control. He's 15. He can't do anything about that. So personally, I like it. I just think that for especially an average person, they're going to look at this at first and be like, oh, blah, I don't know. You know, I love the poster above. I even like the calendar. All that stuff is nice. I would try to frame that poster. If not, no big deal, because, yeah, it's not really the end of the world. But I think things like your your orange laptop, they just really make me want to vomit. And it's not because I hate that kind of laptop, but against your wall color and everything, it's like, oh god. So really it's a simple starter setup, but things like your headphones, you need to kind of mount that underneath. PS4 is cool and everything. It's just simple. There's not a lot to say about it. There's nothing you can really do about it. You just kind of shit out of luck. But yeah, keep up with the things. Okay, so next set of the day is submitted by Shahrukh. Now Shahrukh was actually on Setup Spotlight. He's 29 years old, and the main purpose for his setup is casual gaming, watching movies, and working on his DIY projects like his custom water cooling. And he said everything in the room is custom to match the theme, from the wall-mounted table to the chair to the couches, and most of it is done by himself. So here's the thing. Now, a lot of people, they see this and they're like, oh my god, look at all the stuff. It's so fancy. It's so nice. All the colors, and it's like so clean. They love it. Don't get me wrong. Amazing setup. The amount of work that went into this is just insane. But for me personally, and I know some people will agree, some people will not agree, it's just not doing it for me. I don't get hard when I look at it. I don't know how else, I don't know how else to explain it. Like, it just doesn't have, and I'm not going to say it doesn't have the wow factor at first glance, especially the first photo. It's like, whoa, that's cool. But I look at the left wall and I'm like, didn't really do anything with that at all. Very boring and bland. Even above the monitors, I think that's like, I get it. He's going for the minimalistic, simplistic look. Relax, exercise, create, and connect. Cool. I get that. I like the different colors. I think that's cool. But I think more could have been done with it. I'm not saying fill your walls to the max. I just don't feel like there's a lot going on there. And I understand also the desk itself is custom and it's cool because it's got no legs and it's mounted to the wall and it's able to support all that weight. But the underside is like too empty, actually, to the point where I'm like, what the like, where are your cables? Like, I obviously understand what you did, but I'm saying, like, it just gives off an odd vibe, especially it's white on white. It's like it's not even there. You definitely, it said explore, my bad. I guess I'm just so fat, I'm always thinking about exercising. It's just something I have on the mind. Anyways, whatever, I was reading it from the computer over there. So it's just like, it has the potential to be like 100 on Pimp My Setup, but for me personally, it's not there. Granted, he was only like 6 points off when it's all said and done, but it just, like, the left side looks like completely pointless. I feel like you're sitting in a weird, I feel like the left monitor's way too far over, especially because it's like the desk is digging into your side. I just don't like it. You know, it is what it is. Maybe if the computer was on the other side of the desk and then you were centered on the desk, the part of the desk that you're at now, I don't know. It's just not doing it for me. It's not, and that's, that's life. So just things happen, and yeah, I still, again, nitpicking, got an amazing score. I think I got a 94, really good. But yeah, I think he's working on more stuff too. Anyway, so that's good. Okay, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze, but I'm gonna try not to as we go on over to the next set of the day, submitted by Sergej. I remember saying that on a Setup Spotlight. Sergej is an architecture student from Germany. He's 27 years old, and this setup just got itself a freaking 100. I gave it 100. I gave it 100. And I am okay with that. Like, I didn't think I'd ever really give something 100, but god damn, this is it. Let me explain, okay? Because obviously, in order to get 100, you need to get a 10 on all 5 categories. So let's break it down. Wire management. Say, what? I don't see any wires. Yeah, because he's got this super sexy tubing coming out, which I think, I don't know, some people might be like, oh my god, that's not how you wire manage. I love it. I think it's cool, especially because it kind of has like a hard tube look. Really nice in that scenario. Wire management is great. I'm going to look at the... People think that it's not. Someone said, dude, there's no way that's 100. Oh my god, open your eyes and stop being retarded, because this is 100. So now the next category when we do scoring is out of sight, out of mind. Now look at his desktop. Is there anything on his desk that should not be there that he does not use on a daily basis? And don't tell me the plant. No one uses a plant, dumbass. It's a display. Really, usability in that scenario, I mean, out of sight, out of mind, perfect. Next, usability. He's got his primary display. He's got a secondary display for whatever else he may need. Everything that he needs, keyboard, mouse, all that stuff, perfectly in place. Perfect. Everything really. And of course, the room itself we'll talk about in a second. It's amazing. But we're focused on the setup for the score. Usability, perfect. Speakers, perfect spot, not blocked. Insanely, like, you really can't ask for anything better than that. Next up, accessories. He's got everything he needs. Great. Literally everything I just went over. Peripherals, accessories, everything. Perfect. Really nice. Theme. Look at it. He's got everything on display that he loves. Little shadow boxes, his favorite movies at the top, different series that he really likes, different anime things, little bobbleheads. And then look at the whole entire room. First off, insanely clean. Love the overall color scheme and whatnot. He's got a projector screen at the top. He's got an insanely good TV. He's got framed photos that look amazing. And no matter what angle you look at, it's just a very clean, personal setup that looks amazing. People, oh my god, everyone is crying about no mouse pad. Not everyone wants a mouse pad, and I would assume he would know if that surface works for him. Personally, I don't think he needs it. I think he would know if he needed it. People think that he doesn't deserve 100 because he doesn't have a mouse pad. I really do like it though. I think it's an amazing setup. And again, a lot of people, the funny thing is most people that don't like this setup like the setup before, whereas I like this setup more than the setup before. So again, personal preference at the end of the day. Sergej though, amazing, clean, perfect, beautiful setup. And I do believe it deserves 100. And no, he didn't pay me for how would he pay me for 100? So anyways, next set of the day, submitted by Brennan. Now we're kind of taking a turn to the worse here. I'm just kidding. He's 10 years old. He's probably crying right now. But he's a huge fan of the show, and he wanted to enter Pimp My Setup. He's 10. He lives in Hawaii. Holy balls, you lucky son of a guy. That's something mean, but he's 10. He loves to surf and do wave photography. He uses computer for editing photos and video, and he wanted to tell me that he's in a rental home and he has no control over the hideous wall color. Brennan, my man, you are smart because yes, I could see what you mean. You don't have control over things that are pretty hideous. But dude, you live in Hawaii. That right there is awesome. You're getting into photography and you're using your technology to edit and all that, which is awesome. Really, really like that. Keep it up because that is going to get you in an even better setup down the road because, you can start doing paid gigs and you'll get money for your setup. Really awesome. Keep up with that. But, things like the pencil sharpener, if you actually use it, then yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. I see how you did some wire management with actually feeding cables through holes through the desk. Props there. Wow. I mean, that's really good. And you have the cables at the bottom left, and there's not much you could do about that, but it still is clean. Good job there. Looks like you need to vacuum a little bit though. I would look into maybe using a vacuum. And then I guess the actual desktop itself, the cars, things like that. Maybe it would be better if you put it on the undershelf where the sharpener is, because that way it's not taking up any space. Not the end of the world though. Usability is pretty good. It's a small desk, so trying to use the laptop and the actual PC is pretty hard. Theme, I didn't really grab too much from this. I see that you have your little cork board, which I thought was cool, and the cars, but I don't think it was it wasn't. I think there's a better way to display it overall. Some of the artwork, if you had all the frame stuff and the cork board right above the monitor and whatnot, that would look a lot better. But for 10, I mean, holy crap, really pretty good, pretty damn good. But you'll get there. Obviously, you're 10, so keep it up. And now let's go to the next setup. Next setup of the day is submitted by Rhys. Rhys is 13 and loves doing all kinds of sports, and his favorite hobby is to play video games on his PS4, and he would love if we chose him. So yeah, he said my setup is pretty bland and I would love some tips. He's also OCD and very clean. So taking a look at this, I can definitely see that he's all about keeping it clean. But here's the thing, it's not a a normal setup that we'll talk about, because his desk is actually just believe it or not, his desk, it's got no computer. Said, what? I didn't think Matt Philly would ever let a non-computer setup on the show. Now, I've done it before. yeah, the PS4 is on the floor. That's the first issue, you know, and you got the power strip right there. That's the second issue. And then the third issue is that really, I don't think I fully understand what you're going for here. Now, I love the furniture. I get that part of it, but playing off your dresser, I used to do it all the time. I think that some changes need to be made. You need to come up with some room for the PS4. You need to hide that power strip behind one of the pieces of furniture and then just run the cables along the floor. It's a hard one. It's hard. You have the controller stand on your desk. Why is the other controller not there? Get a headphone stand or a thing that you put on the side of the dresser so it hangs there. And then, yeah, I mean, I would tell you to put some stuff on the wall and whatnot, but like you got this black and gray, white contrasting setup going on, and I think it's cool. So I think you should stick with that. But you have this like little bit of turquoise, green, aqua color on your sheets, mintish. Do something with that. Make that color flow through the setup, and it would look really cool. But I don't really have anything else to say, and I've been talking this whole episode, and I'm losing brain cells trying to talk. So yeah. Anyways, let's. Yeah, I don't think he could put the TV on the desk, guys, because if he does, he's just covering up exactly what makes that hutch really cool. So anyways, next up of the day is submitted by Bradley. Now, Bradley lives in San Francisco, California. He's 17 years old, and he actually just started building this setup about a month ago, and at the same time, he built his first PC. As you can probably tell, he's a big sports guy, hence all the memorabilia, and he's eventually going to try to get some speakers and stuff. So, at first glance, I don't think someone would understand. I don't think someone would guess that, like, yeah, he just started a month ago, because it's like, holy crap, Brad. I mean, you got a lot of shit. Like, I mean, the shelves are complete. I mean, it kind of reminds me of my shelves here in the studio, because I have a lot of stuff because I'm trying to like show my personality, and I always get people telling me like, Matt, you have way too much on your shelves, and I'm like, screw you. So I kind of understand where you're coming from, but I mean, look at the number of baseballs on the left side. I mean, holy crap, they must have some sort of value to them if they're in the glass case, whatever. You got footballs in the cases, you got just tons of footballs and hats and so much going on. I don't even know if you'd be able to condense this. It's almost as if you just need a bigger setup overall. But for something like this, I would love to be able to look at the one shelf and see just the baseballs, and then the next one, just the footballs. But I understand you probably have it in an order that makes sense to you. But I feel like if you want to declutter a little bit, you got to make like, you got to simplify each little shelf to one specific theme, and it would look pretty good. Like the one shelf that has the license plate, that just looks like books and stuff stacked on top of each other. It just kind of looks like that one is a little overkill. PC though, I mean, congratulations, welcome to the PC Master Race. Maybe not the best spot for it, but I understand that it's hard to find a good spot because I don't think it fits on the underside there. So I don't know, maybe people in chat will give you guys, will give you, Brad, a good idea. But the little wire mesh holder that has all your stuff, like the scissors and whatnot, I don't, like, I'm not going to hate on that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Some people might argue that it's not really the best spot for it. But I think it's, you know, not the end of the world. I love that lamp. I love lamp. I think that's really cool. And then, yeah, I mean, it's a simple, straightforward setup. I understand you just started, and I think it's looking really, really good. But a lot of people seem to be saying that they, yeah, that it's just a little too much. Get a hat rack, Skylar Express. That's a good one. You know, a good thing, yeah, good. I know some people are cringing, like, good idea, man. That's what you want to say. But yeah. Someone said they're signed by pro baseball players. Really? That's what I was saying.
No, softball players. That's what you get confused.
Yeah, that's the joke I was making. I was saying they have some value, obviously, because they're in a glass case. But yeah, I really do like it. It's a nice setup and a lot of potential. It's just got to declutter. So next setup and final setup of the day, submitted by Saif. Saif is the father of a 7-year-old daughter, works in finance, likes to create video games, digital art, robots, and remote control cars. You can find him on Instagram at the actual number 7 mirrors. He's 34 years old. He started to watch a show recently. He thinks it's a really great show, and he decided to hang some posters of his favorite games and do the cable management. So, hey, I got him to do posters and cable management. I think my life is pretty good. The posters serve another purpose, which is hiding the electricity box and extra power socket. And one of the posters is actually a big shortcuts infographic for a 3D program. Oh, look at that. Yeah, so if you guys know Blender, that one poster right there is like, you know, all the different shortcuts that he needs. Very smart. Love that idea. Really, really cool. He has some figurines, but he decided to put them away, which is cool. So he decided, like, you know, that was a little bit overkill. And yeah, so taking a look at this, he uses it for developing games in 3D art, which is why he loves having 3 displays. And holy crap, I mean, seems like he's into some really cool stuff. And normally I'm not a big fan of having books all over the place, but if you look at that first photo, I like that bookshelf. I think it looks like you're smart and you know what you're doing. He's got the cool robot thing on top of it too, which is pretty cool. And then the second photo kind of shows like behind. Looks like an awesome room overall, like just a cool hangout place. It's got, you know, everything personal about himself. The awesome Calyx shelving for all his different throwback consoles. I mean, he's got GameCube, N64, all that cool stuff, which is really awesome. And then taking a look at the final photo, you kind of see like how the LEDs look, and LEDs really help this setup. I love the PC. I love how everything works. And taking a look at it, I know some people might think that it's a little cramped in that corner, but I don't think it is at all. And that's the beauty of that corner piece. I actually have it in my bedroom. Really, I love that it has the nice curve, gives you so much room to work with, and it really feels like a huge spot. So I really enjoy how this was all laid out. I think with the controllers there, pretty good, really nice. Everything is usable. Maybe, and I always say this, maybe get like a cool docking station for the laptop. If you use it a lot, then just one that, you know, like the M stand by Rain, that would be really cool because it would still make it usable, but it also makes it look cooler. And then he's got his tablet, which I think is what he uses for, I think it's a Wacom or whatever that he uses for drawing. So that's, you know, it makes sense that it's there. But I think the usability, everything like that is really great here. An awesome setup. And I'm happy that you did the wire management because look at that. Like, that is clean. You could see all the legs to the lid mount and everything. Just really, really, really nice. I enjoy it. It's a great setup, and yeah, I really like it. Good job. Yeah, that's gonna do it though. Let's go to the scores. Oh God, I know some people are gonna start crying now because no one ever agrees with my scores, but you know what? I never agree with your scores, and that's the beauty of life. We don't have to agree with anybody's scores. So first of the day, Manuel, he's got an 80. Sigurd, he got himself a 76. Thomas, 70. Liam, 66. Shahrukh, a 94. Sergej, I gave him 100. You can suck it. If you guys think that it deserves a 99, let me know in the comments. I don't actually care at all. Brennan got a 70. Rhys got a 74. Bradley got a 72. And Saif got a 92. Which I think yeah, that's a good setup. So that's gonna do it for this episode of Pimp My Setup. Thank you for watching. Yes, I will work on hopefully making the show even quicker, and then if you guys like it, let me know in the comments if I should do 3 episodes a week, and maybe I will do that. But that's gonna do it for this episode of Pimp My Setup. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the flippity flop.